Hi, everybody. Welcome. We'll do another class of Qi Gong, Tai Chi meditation. We'll focus on the spine today and a general tune-up, I call it, that covers in the whole body. I don't know if we'll succeed all 12 body markers, but we'll try to do some. I think the first thing we want to do is just a nice, gentle warm-up, the hula hoop or the hula bula, I call it. And you just rotate your pelvis counterclockwise, feet parallel, shoulder width apart. You can put your hands behind your back, and there's three positions. The easier one is to grab the wrists, because you remember in my class, less is more, no pain, lots of gain, and 80% effort. You want to know what is your 80% effort. So that's one option. The second option, you grab your forearms. The third option, you grab your elbows. So that's the more intense one. I put 2 minutes for us. And a lot of my classes, we do 3 or 4 minutes. But since we only have the 45 minutes, we'll do it a little shorter. And when you do it on your own, if you can do it for a little longer, you can close your eyes. The tongue touch the roof of the mouth. There's a little indentation. When you put your tongue on the roof of the mouth, it closes an energetic circuit, conception governing vessels, it's called, if you know acupuncture or the energetic system. And you want to focus on 3 different circles. So you have very, very small circles, and those are more energetic. You can start with those. You want to try to maybe do 2 or 3 or even 4 circles inhalation and 2, 3, or 4 circles exhalation. I say the small circles are as small as a dime. I was just told recently, I don't remember who it was, but that dimes are smaller than a penny. I used to say a penny, but now I say a dime. Then you go to the medium circles, medium size. And then you go to the large circles. The large circles are more physical. You can feel in the hamstring and the lower back. So that's a good start for stretching the soft tissue, the muscles, the tendons, the skin, fascia around the spine, the lower back especially. Then you want to visualize a healing energy ball 2 inches below the navel. Oh, you see why 2 minutes is not enough? I'll do 1 more minute on this side. You want to visualize a healing energy ball. So that's why you see all my Tai Chi balls here on my right. It's different students made it for me. And a lot of time you hold the ball in front of the lower energy center and you project this round feeling inward and you make it into the sun or a healing energy ball. And you want to rotate from the energy ball. So your mind is in the lower energy center. And when you rotate from there. I like to sometimes feel like the center is the sun and the hips, each hip is a planet or a star, and they rotate around the sun. If you close your eyes, it's a little harder for balance. You can always hold on to something, the wall, the chair or something, and then you can close your eyes and experience this with your eyes closed, because the visualizations are stronger when your eyes are closed. Then change direction, clockwise. Change the grip behind your back. So if you're gripped this way, change it. This time, let's start with the large circles. There's a little bit here when you're more advanced, what in yoga they call the cat and the cow with the spine, or what in Qi Gong and Tai Chi calls stretch the bows, release the bows. It's the spine bow and the chest bow. So there's a little bit movement through the spine and the chest, even that you're just making circles with your pelvis. So the spine here curves. And when the pelvis goes forward, the spine opens and curves and open. So it's like the spine keeps moving forward and backward. And the chest keeps opening and closing. I really like the metaphor with the chest it's called the inner smile in Qi Gong. So when you open the chest, feel like you're smiling from the chest. But this is a little more advanced, but over time in practice, you can inject it or integrate it into the circle with the spine and the chest. So the whole body is alive. Three, four circles inhalation, 3, 4 circles exhalation. Another very nice things to do here is you put your mind in the soles of the feet, between the soles of the feet and the floor, and just keep your mind there on the circle. Some of you may feel the soles of the feet starting to get warm when you put your mind there. There's a saying in the poetry, wherever you put the mind, that's where the Qi goes. When you put the Yi, that's where the Qi goes. Yi is mind, Qi is energy. So if you keep your mind between the soles of the feet and the floor, not only that you massage the soles of the feet, but suddenly you start to feel this warmth. And it's interesting how when your mind is in the lower energy center, it's different than when you put your mind in the soles of the feet. This is also helps with grounding, rooting. It's good for self-esteem, confidence, anxiety, and moving your mind away from the monkey mind. So it's another way to offer the monkey mind a banana and to quiet the monkey mind, which is the emotion, versus the wisdom is the yi, shin, and the shin is the monkey, the emotions. Good. Then we'll see how this one goes. This is a little more tricky. So if you don't have a wall, it's okay. You can do it without the wall. But if you do have a wall, you stand with your back to the walls. The heels don't have to touch the wall. The heels are a little bit away from the wall. I touch with my butt, sacrum, shoulder blades, and I put the front of the palm beside me on the wall. Then I put the back of the head on the wall. So this is like I'm lying on the floor. And I charge the soles of the feet. And I start to move the spine up the wall. It's like climbing up the wall. It's very small, micro movement. Nobody can see it probably from the outside, but you can feel it from the inside. And you just want to, like a tree or an ivy or a rising up force through the spine, you want to just make your spine longer and longer. Especially it's easy to do it when you charge the soles of the feet. Inhalation helps you lengthen the spine up. Exhalation helps you soften the tissue around the vertebrae, which allows you to lengthen the spine up again. I always say that I work 10 breaths on on the letting go, and maybe only after 10 times that I let go, I add a little bit lengthening. So it's more about letting go to achieve the lengthening, because if you try to lengthen, at a certain point, you just get stuck. Every now and then you may hear some sound, I call it popcorn, little pop or a little sound from the opening. Don't forget to breathe deep at the same time. There's a tendency to hold your breath. So the ribs are working, the lungs expand, and the spine is climbing up the wall. Next, we have 3 different letters. This is the I. This is the Y. This is the T. And this is the W. So you have to find which letter works for you. Of course, the I is the most intense in the spine, shoulders, and neck. So if you can do that, then you don't have to worry about the other letters. But if you cannot and you feel tension in the shoulder and the back, it doesn't work for you in the lower back, try the T. You can still get a lot out of the spine when you do the T, even that your arms don't go up. So what happens here is this. When my hands touch the wall, my sacrum touch the wall, the shoulder blades touch the wall, but I tuck my chin into my collarbone. Then I move away from the wall with my sacrum. I move away with my shoulder blades. I touch with the back of the head the wall, and I bring my hands to the letter that you choose. Then I bring it back down. Sacrum, shoulder blades touch the wall, the front of the palm touch the wall, the chin tuck into the collarbone. It's a little bit of the, I call it the Qi Gong sun salutation. Maybe in yoga, they also call it preparation for back bends when I was doing the BKS Iyengar yoga. And inhale on the way up. So remember, when you hear only the back of the head touch the wall and the back of the palm, the sacrum and the shoulder blades move away from the wall. Then you bring the sacrum and the shoulder back into the wall. The head moves away from the wall and the palms go to the wall, the front. Inhale on the way up. Exhale on the way down. Lengthen the arms, spread the fingers. The tongue still touch the roof of the mouth. So this is great for the neck. So one of the body markers. This is great for the shoulders, another body marker. So there's 12 body markers: ankles, quads, groin, outer hip, hamstring, lower back, shoulders, and neck. Remember, there's a nice metaphor. Up like smoke. When you move your arms up, you feel like in the spine, up like smoke, rising from the inside. And when you move down, the arms down like a feather. And that's what gives that nice feeling of the Tai Chi or the Qi Gong motion, like you moving through warm water. Or as my father used to say when he used to see me do Tai Chi in the yard, he used to say to his friend, "Look, my son is swimming in the yard with no water." So this gentle, agile motion also helps you, leads you into a meditative mind state. It's almost self-hypnotic or soothing, calming versus moving fast. Also, the slower you move, the more control you need to show. If you can, at the same time, when you inhale on the way up, draw the abdominal and the back muscles in. And when you exhale, let them go out. So you're also massaging the internal organs, which is a very important principle in Qigong and Tai Chi. Remember, Tai Chi is a form of Qigong. There's 4 schools of Qigong: health, martial art, Confucius, and religious. Tai Chi belongs to the health and martial arts school. So 2 out of the 4 you find in the Tai Chi. There's two kind of breath. One is a fire breath, days that your mind is very busy and you want to quiet the monkey, you go with a sound. I don't know if the sound passes through the microphones here. And the other days when you want to be more quiet and yin, it's water breath with no sound, but still deep. In both breath, there's four leading words: deep, long, peaceful, and quiet. When you do the fire breath, it's not so quiet, so eliminate the quiet. Come out of it. Another important body marker is the lower back. So we'll take a little break from standing, turn the chair around, sit sideways on the chair. Those of you that came to those classes before, you did it, it's the chair twist. So this symbolizes one of the body markers. If you start, you're facing forward, it's 0. It's a 90-degree turn. If you're able to turn all the way around 90 degrees, that's a 10. Most people get a 5 probably. They turn about 45 degrees. It's a good start. Make sure you distribute the weight equally between the left and the right sitting bone. There's a tendency when you turn to the right to lean to the right sitting bone, because then you can turn a little further. And you turn, use your arms. One is pulling, one is pushing. But most of the turn happens from the lower energy center. This is also great. I use this one in my research with MGH with irritable bowel syndromes. It's great for the digestive system because you're twisting. It affects your intestines, your stomach. This is the same as before with the spine here. I inhale and I lengthen up. I exhale, relax the soft tissue around the vertebrae. I always work more on letting go and softening before I get a rising up through the spine. If you push against the sitting bones, you feel that force that moves up through the spine. At the same time, you want to relax your shoulders because there's a tendency when you're trying to open the chest and lengthen the spine to raise the shoulders. So the shoulders drop. The head is suspended from the heaven. A nice, very nice, another nice metaphor is to the poetry. It says the head rides a cloud. So you feel like your head is on a cloud. Or another nice one is the head is like a helium balloon and the spine is the string. So the helium balloons strive to move up and it helps the spine open. But remember to relax the shoulders, open the chest, the inner smile. Deep breathing in and out through the nose, the tongue touch the roof of the mouth. Visualize the lower energy center. When a lot of time work, come out of it slow, come up and go to the other side. When I work with cancer and other chronic conditions, which is, I think it would be a very nice exercise for this group, I utilize, so I'm turning to my left now, I utilize the visualization of the lower energy center, like I visualize it like the sun, and then the sun projects, and wherever you know there's an area that is cancer cells or something you know there, or there's tension or ache or pain, you project the beams of the sun into that area, and you melt that area, you dissolve it. And you use the metaphor solid to liquid and liquid to gas. So visualize the lower energy center like the sun. The sun is sending the beam into the area you want to dissolve, and you dissolve that area. Relax your face. The face has a lot of tension. The internal organs have a lot of tension. The neck and shoulder have a lot of tension, and the lower back has tension. So men tend to have more tension in the lower back. Women have tension more in the neck and shoulders, and both genders have tension in the face and the internal organs. The movement of the abdominal muscles in and out, with the back muscles, of course, helps create more circulation, remove stagnation, and help relax the internal organs. But in my sunset book, I have it's called a face meditation. And you want to just dissolve the whole face down. You want to melt it layer by layer. You can come out of it, turn the chair around, sit on the edge of the chair, or if you need to, you sit on the back of the chair, but try to keep your spine. And so if you use the back of the chair or you put a firm pillow, it's called assisted. If you're on the front of the chair, it's independent. So you want to strive from one to the other or use both whenever needed. You can put your hands on your lap. I want you to rub your hands, make them nice and warm. And then take your fingers and your palms and run it down your face. Help the face melt down. Come to your chest, down the legs, and all the way out. Again, come from the top. Run your hands along your face. Feel the fingers touching your face and helping the face just melt, like your face is just clay. And you're just melting it away. Drag it, this feeling, this impurities or tension down through the legs and out away from you. Rub your hands again. You can even start from the center of the head, from the hair, and move your hands down. Touch your face in different spots with the different finger, different parts of the fingers, the palm. Go down your neck, the chest, legs, and away. One more time. Very good. And then try now to do it just mentally. So start from the top, from the forehead, from the corners of the eyes. You want to start dissolving the areas that are more tight, closer to the skull. So it's the temple, the corners of the eyes, the eyebrows, then the corners of the mouth, the corner of the nose, corners of the mouth, the chin, and melt the whole first layer of your skin down. Then go to the second layer, the fascia, and start melting the second layer. Divide the face into maybe 5 or 6 layers, and inhale, exhale, and keep melting layer by layer until you just become a skull. You have about a minute and a half to do it. Keep breathing and dissolve your face. You want to push against the sitting bone and lengthen the spine out. Relax your shoulders, dissolve your face. Slowly bring your mind back. So I encourage you to put the timer for 20 minutes, not just a minute and a half, and try to do the face meditation for at least 20 minutes and up. If you can't, start with 8 minutes, 15 minutes, and grow to it. There's a saying, a lot of my teachers used to tell me that only after 20 minutes, real stuff starts to happen. Another one of the body markers, which is very important, so they had the chair twist, is the hip, the outer hip. So you want to take your right leg and put it on top of the left leg, and the ankle is in the air. So because if you put the ankle on the leg, it's bent from the ankle. You want it to go right into the outer hip here. And if your knee is sticking up, so over time in practice, hopefully you can get that knee down and you open the hip. This is great also for preventing falls. It's important to have, open hips so you have better performance, physical performance day to day. And you lean with your right hand on your knee a little bit to encourage the opening of the hip. If you feel it in the knees, you need to come out of it. So that's not what you want to feel. You want to feel it in the outer hip. In everything we do, we want to have all 5 building blocks in every exercise. So we don't want to waste time and just do physical stuff. Then just might as well do physiotherapy. This is what I call sophisticated physiotherapy. It has 4 more layers. The second layer after you stretch the outer hip is the breath. So the second building block. So it's body breath. So I do deep breathing in and out through the nose. By now, your breath should be longer and deeper since we started, because the smooth muscles around the lungs are very elastic. If you don't use it, you lose it. So just demanding more and more and pushing air from the inside out, you expand those muscles. And by now, your breath should be deeper and longer. In and out through the nose, work the lungs. The third part is the mind, the third building block. So the mind monitors the body. So you make sure you sit on the left side, because there's a tendency to lean to the right side. You make sure you let go of the hip, you relax it. You make sure you push against the sitting bone and lengthen the spine up. Relax the shoulder, head suspended, chin parallel to the floor, face relaxed. Open the chest. So all that is in the body, and there's more. So you have now the mind is like the conductor or the general. It's monitoring the breath and the body. Then we want to add the 4th building block, which is the energy. So I visualize the lower energy center. I put the tongue on the roof of the mouth. And last but not least is the spirit. So if I visualize my lower energy center and send my mind deep into the earth for now, and feel like I'm in the center of the earth, so that's how you evoke the spirit. Unification of 2 forces, human and earth. Then I switch the leg around. Now I put my right leg on top. I'm trying to open my left outer hip so you can see you're not symmetric. One side is usually tighter than the other. I focus on my breath. I lengthen the spine, relax the shoulders. Now I'm going to send my mind up into the heaven. So this is unification of 2 forces, human and heaven. And I visualize the lower energy center. At the same time, my mind is up in the heaven, in the stars. Relax the shoulders, open the chest, visualize the lower energy center. Use the lower energy center to dissolve any areas that you know have impurities. I call it the power of the mind. I said, don't wait for science to tell you that your mind is powerful enough to take an active role in your journey towards better health and prevention. I'm sure a lot of you forgot. Inhale, move the abdomen, the back muscle in, exhale out. The constant moving of the abdominal and back muscles massage your internal organs, creates better flow, removes stagnation, but also strengthen your core and also builds energy. So it has at least 3 or 4 benefits to moving the abdominal and the back muscles in and out. Over time and practice, you'll be able to perform all the physical and mental skills together. It's like a harmony of a symphony. And every skill is a different instrument, and your mind is the conductor. So, it takes some time. As I mentioned before, the internal organs have a lot of tension, a lot of stress. In the East, in the West, when people say I'm strong, they flex their bicep and point to their biceps. In the East, when people say I'm strong, they point to their abdominal muscles. I joke, I say, how many people die of failure of the biceps? Not many. Most of us, it's failure of one of the internal organs. Another reason that the Buddha, you see the Buddha statue is big and fat, it's not because he's fat from food. He's fat it's a symbol of abundant energy in your internal organs, of the health of the internal organs. I recommend, there's a great book, it's called Outlive, and talks about the 4 horsemen. He talks about it. I'm blanking on his name right now, but he talks about diabetes, heart failure, dementia, and cancer. If you can avoid those 4, you have a chance to live over 100. So he's talking about those people that live over 100. But I won't go too much into it. I did a whole research about it as well. I'll talk while we do something. Rub your hands. I don't want to waste your time, even though that you are time. And then circle your hands on your internal organs. There's 3 places on Earth that people live over 100. It's in Greece in the mountains, Italy in the mountains, and Japan in the mountains. And the 3 reasons that they came out with were the food. So, in the Italy and Greece, it's the Middle Eastern oil, fresh food, and on and on. In Japan, it's the seafood and the fresh food. The second is the air that you breathe. So up in the mountain, the air is better. As one of the students mentioned, that she went to nature and it was an unbelievable experience. When you're in nature, the spirit is stronger, the air is better, and the feeling is much more powerful. So everything I teach you, you practice at home. But whenever you have a chance and you go hiking or on the beach or in the forest or in the mountains or in the desert, if you practice it, you'll see it's a much more powerful experience. But, sometimes you don't have a choice, but keep practicing so you don't wait only for those opportunities. I circle up through the right into the center and down into the left. The third element of living longer, so we said air, food. What would you think the third? Familia. Support from your family, from your friends. So they show in each one of those places a table in the grandma's backyard, and at least 15 to 20 people just drop by for lunch or dinner without announcing. That's without announcing. So this emotional support from friends and family is very important for living longer. I put my mind inside the internal organs. I help with my mind dissolve. So let's say for me, I have intestinal issues since I was a teenager. That's why I started doing the Tai Chi and Qi Gong and the Zen meditation and all of it. So I feel it right here in the intestine. It feels like almost like a rope or something tight. So I bring my hands to that area, stomach, intestine, and I put my mind in there and I dissolve it using the metaphor solid. So whatever I stumble into first is solid in my mind. And then I change it into liquid, and from liquid to gas. So I always say, if I could just change it from solid to liquid, that's a lot. So you work with this metaphor, solid to liquid and liquid to gas, or ice to water and water to gas. I have a few students, they have let's say lung cancer. So they take their hands and move it towards the lung. They go to where they know there's something going on there. They put their hand, the warm hand there, and whatever is there is solid to liquid and liquid to gas. You can do this exercise also without your hands, just mental. So you lie down or you sit in the couch, you put a nice warm blanket around you. I have now a heating pad because it's 16 degrees here today. I put the heating pad on my intestine and I do the dissolving with the heating pad. It's magic. So the mind goes into the internal organs and you dissolve them, solid to liquid and liquid to gas. So you can see this can be done with the help of your hands or just mentally. Another part of the body markers, it's the shoulders and neck. So see if you can grab your elbows over your head. If not, the fingers or the forearms. If you feel it bothering your back, just come out of it. Don't wait to hurt your back or anything or neck. Just hold it like this. Deep breathing. Now when you breathe deep, I call it the wing breath. The air moves to the sides part of the lungs like wings. So when you inhale, continue the filling of the breath further away from you like wings, two big wings beyond the physical. Feel the ribs expand. So not only that we want to breathe deep throughout the class or throughout the day, possible, we also want to breathe deep to different parts of the lungs, different lung cells, different lobes. If you don't use it, you lose it. So if you don't breathe deep, you just become a shallow breather. But if you breathe deep, you demand from the lungs to expand, you activate new lung cells, you have more oxygen moving through your system, and it's healthier for every cell in your body, and especially for the brain, dementia, energy, immune system, all affected by the deep breathing. Very powerful. I call the deep breathing the magic flying carpet of the exercise. So by adding the breath into everything, so you can have just a carpet, but when does the carpet become magic and flies? With the breath. The breath makes the carpet into that magic carpet. The breath also helps you quiet the monkey mind. It's the banana to quiet the emotions. It's just magic, the breath. Most of us are shallow breathers. You have to make a conscious decision to breathe deep throughout the day. I also call it the Rami parrot. My students know, breathe deep, breathe deep. It sits on your shoulder and reminds you all day, breathe deep, breathe deep. Oh, yeah, I need to breathe deep. You put the timer 3 minutes, you take deep breath. You wait for your email, you take deep breath. Before you eat, you take deep breath. Your wife talks to you, you take deep breath. It's very good marriage that way. It's a joke. I think I talk more than my wife. She needs to take deep breath with me. Put your hands on your waist. So this is another one of the body markers, the neck. This is called look to the left and look to the right. Maybe next month, if I remember, we'll do stretch the bow and shoot the arrow. It has in it also the look to the left and look to the right. So you can see a combination of the body markers and the Qi Gong movements I think it's from the 8 pieces of brocade. If you ever heard of it in Qi Gong. When I turn my head, I inhale, I open my eyes and I look far, far away. Raise the spirit, eagle eyes, tiger eyes. When I come to the center, I close my eyes, I exhale, And then turn, inhale, open your eyes and look far, far away. Exhale, close your eyes. Inhale, tiger eyes. Exhale and inhale. Exhale and inhale. Put your hands in your lap, one over the other. Close your eyes. I want you for 2 minutes to just focus on your breath. This is called Zen mind. Zen mind, my first practice when I was 15. Any thoughts come into your brain, just lead them into the breath. And slowly bring your mind back. Thank you very much.